All right, so this is actually me filming a third video in the third day, but something happened in the news that I really want to talk about, and it deals with net neutrality. If you do not know what net neutrality is, it's the idea that ISPs, internet service providers, like your Comcast, your Verizon, your Spectrum, your Charter, your AT&T, those who control the access to the internet, can't limit internet traffic based upon anything. Everything has to be treated equally. And this is incredibly important because we are now moving lots and lots of data around. And this came up as a problem. It's actually come up multiple times, this idea of net neutrality in the United States, that, if we didn't have the rules under the Obama administration, ISPs would actually take payments for better access to the traffic for various websites. So let me get into what happened. So under the Trump administration, there was relaxed rules by the FCC chair, Ajit Pai, and what occurred was it was relaxed, but it wasn't fully taken away, and ISPs, again, internet service providers, wanted to take away those rules. So they hired a few firms to basically convince voters that net neutrality was a bad idea. I'm going to give you my stance right here. Net neutrality is good for consumers. It's good for everyone but the big corporations that control how you get into the internet. It is great for consumers. It allows competition. No one should disagree with net neutrality. But here's what occurred. I know this is a little different because I'm actually going to read from a screen. And New York AG finds companies that spammed FCC with fake anti-net neutrality comments. So these are lobbying firms, and what lobbying firms are supposed to do is convince voters and politicians to vote one way or another. So they go around, after, relaxed rules, they want to get voters to support, repealing all of net neutrality. Well, they go around and they ask these voters, they talk about all these different things, different like environmental problems, all that, and then they just take the information and create their own comments for these people. They just made up responses for these people and brought it to the FCC. And so they were fined $615,000 by the New York State AG, Attorney General's office. And companies are LCX and Lead ID. They faked 1.5 million people and go between 840 false comments and other lead generators. Several of the companies involved in the astroturfing, that means fake grassroots, we say all these names and they're backing us. They were just trying to influence regulators and politicians. And so you're probably like, well, why are you talking about this? They got fined $615,000. That's a lot of money. Yeah, that would be a lot of money to me. That'd be probably a lot of money to you. But to these companies, it's a drop in the bucket. They're working for, again, the large ISPs that make billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And this is a very important, issue for the United States that's I forgot about it because I thought it was done with. I thought it was defeated, but still trying. Well, this isn't. Yeah, it's good these companies got fined, but like I said, a drop in the bucket. When we do these fines, it needs to be a lot larger. And I believe it was, oh my God, why can't I think of it? It was the power supply company, one of those power supply companies. Anyway, finally Congress enacted a fine that was double the profits that they would have made. And that's kind of what we need to prevent these types of antics. So why is this important? Well, I alluded to it earlier on. So net neutrality is the idea that all data traveling across the internet should be treated fairly, equally, I don't want to say untethered because that means you get all the random crazy stuff. But, you don't lose bandwidth because you don't pay. So you think that couldn't happen? Well, it's already happened without the idea that someone had paid. During the lockdown, when everyone was watching YouTube couldn't handle the bandwidth. And right or wrong, I think it was actually a right move to keep the system up, and from what I understand, they've improved it a lot. Well, they turned everyone's standard, viewing option to 480p, which greatly reduced the bandwidth. And you'd be shocked how many people don't do the multiple clicks just to get back to the regular quality. So I'm filming in 4K. This takes up a lot of data. Something made in 480p, maybe a couple hundred megabytes. This video, right at this point, at 5 minutes and 30 seconds that I'm looking at, well, that is, I would say, about 2 gigabytes right there. Often when I film these videos before I compress them, they're quite large. And so they needed to, or their system was going to go down. And it kind of saved YouTube until they were able to fix all the problems, and they turned it back up. But even still talking with YouTube, they had plans of 4K being placed behind a paywall for premium, and that makes sense. This is super expensive, and premium is actually a huge chunk of change that YouTube gets. I can't believe I say it, but I will continue to say it. If you can afford premium, get premium. Most large YouTubers who make AdSense will tell you that they get more from premium than they do get from the ads. So yes, it benefits Google, but it also benefits the creators that you watch. So it's already been done. It's already been shown. And so I know I typically talk about gaming, and it is McGee's to Wilbur Tech and gaming, but we're leading to, as I made in a previous video 2 videos ago, cloud gaming is the future. I know people are like, no, we don't have the internet for it. Well, this is one way that we get the internet for it. Companies paying for, I will go with the villain of the gaming world, Nintendo. If Nintendo decided, hey, we're into cloud gaming and there's no net neutrality rules, we're going to pay lots of money and block out Valve, block out Microsoft, block out Sony. And I know that seems crazy, but one of these companies could. Say Google actually gets back into gaming, and they've already shown it because they're one of the 2 big companies that got the Activision deal blocked. Like they're like, okay, streaming is back for gaming. We want to do our streaming service again. And I'm sorry for the camera shake. I keep knocking into basically the tripod. But yeah, it is a huge possibility. That's why we need these rules. So I would like everyone watching me understand, hey, net neutrality is good for us. It is good for the consumer. We need it to make sure that everything is fair on the internet. We need it because streaming is huge. It's going to start being bigger in all aspects. Everything in the cloud. I'm always talking about videos that I'm planning, but a large portion of my family and friends don't actually physically use a computer. It's all on the phone. So that's data plans. That's Wi-Fi. That is a lot. Actually, a lot to do on a phone. I know phones are amazing now, but it's very different. Using an Ethernet connection versus a data plan. And now that I'm thinking about it, data plans are also fall on this tiered list. Even if you have unlimited, right in the contract, once you hit, I believe, 20 gigabytes, I have AT&T, they throttle and everything becomes lower quality. So it is quite important if we're moving to this streaming future of all our content. I hope you found this informative. I haven't really been looking at the camera. I've been looking over to the side. I apologize for that, and I had to read. This is very different for me. I try to come prepared or just completely all over the place, but I really do hope you found this informative. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments. Check out my previous 2 videos. It kind of really sets up a lot of this stuff, and I've finally starting to find a theme, so I appreciate all those that watch it. I know that there's way less people watching my past 2 videos, but more engagement, more click-throughs. That's awesome. I love that. So please check them out if you haven't. Otherwise, as I always end this, I guess I should tell you, hit like, subscribe, comment. I don't actually think they do that much anymore, but hey, if you made it to the end, you are an amazing person, and we love you over here. Bye.